My name is Gretchen Hyatt. I have been diagnosed with a few things. My first diagnosis, my main diagnosis is type 1 bipolar disorder, also known as manic depression. I was diagnosed August 2003. I was later diagnosed with fibromyalgia in 2006. I was recently, probably in the last 6 months or so, was diagnosed with PTSD. But I've had lived experience with anxiety for as long as I can remember as a little girl. The anxiety was diagnosed along with the bipolar disorder. Well, the interesting thing about having multiple diagnoses is that you can't really compare the worst of the worst. Now, the physical will look different than the mental. So I will give you an example of both. The mental can consist of time racing ahead of me. It just immediately start crying the next minute. It's kind of like waves. And I'm riding the waves at my worst. And then if I get too worked up, that could cause an anxiety attack. And usually if I don't have any medication to take on the onset of the anxiety attack, you can find me having to go to the emergency room and having to get heavily sedated to bring that anxiety attack down. And because I have this part going on, my oldest daughter is kind of my caretaker, but then she's kind of not, but she's equipped to work with me when I'm having a manic episode or when I'm having an anxiety attack. She's been with me for so many years and endured a lot of it with me. The physical side of it, the fibromyalgia side of it, could look like I could wake up and I could have tension in my neck, or I could have a muscle spasm in my legs to where if I put pressure on it, it hurts so bad that I cannot walk. I can't put any pressure on it, so I have to stay in bed. If I have a migraine, it's usually not related to just a typical stress-related headache. It's fueled by fibromyalgia. So because it's an overactive nerve condition, anything dealing with my nerves, fibro will take it to the next level. So on the days when I have migraines, I have to keep it dark, I have to keep it cool, I have to take medicine, I have to take medicine for my stomach, because anything, both the mental and the physical, affects my stomach really bad. Usually my daughter will have to look after her brother and sister, because I have besides a 19-year-old, I have a 3-year-old and I have a soon-to-be 6-month-old. And she and I are the only adults in the house. So we team up, and I can work from the bedside, unless, except for the times when I need to sleep, and then she will take it over from there. Every now and then I may call some outside supports if it's, beyond, if I feel like it's going to go on and on. But usually if I catch it on the onset, with a lot of rest and self-care techniques that I've learned, I can manage it at this point, because we're talking 12 years and 15 years dealing with this. But there's still times where I would have to go to the hospital to get tweaked. I have to still work with my psychiatrist and my special teams with my neurologist and my therapist and my chiropractor and my primary care doctor. And everybody speaks to everybody to make sure that there's no mixture of medication. I would say that we are all equipped with a cape, with an S on our chest. And if you have felt that you could not give your last, and all you could do is breathe, and you was able to manage a breath, you are a Superman or a Superwoman. And I guess after having almost dealing with a near-death experience, not once, not twice, but 3 times, in those moments when all I could do was just what I could do, and I got past that part, I felt like I could do anything. And I still lean on those moments, and I look at where I am now, because every moment is progress. Every moment we wake up is progress. So I would tell anybody, you have a cape. Sometimes we forget that we have superpowers. Dust off those superpowers and start dreaming again. I think when we stop dreaming, that's when we go idle. And I am struggling with that a lot. And so I'm having to encourage myself to dream again and dream bigger, create bigger goals for myself. And even though I'm having more recurrent things going on right now, I'm telling myself, well, what can I do within the limitations? Focus on what you can do and manifest it beyond using your superpowers.